Ya Allah. أعوذ بالله السميع العليم من الشيطان اللعين الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله ذي القدرة والسلطان والرافة والامتنان والحجة والبرهان والحكمة والبيان والفضل والرضوان والعفو والغفران والمن والإحسان والقدس والسبحان هو الرحمن الذي خلق الإنسان وعلمه البيان نحمده ونستعينه ونؤمن به ونتوكل عليه ونشهد أن لا إله إلا الله إلها واحدا أحدا صمدا وترا حيا أبدا لم يتخذ صاحبة ولا ولدا ولم يكن له شريك في الملك ولم يكن له ولي من الذل وكبره تكبيرا. ونشهد أن محمدا عبده اصطفى أرسله بالحق بشيرا ونذيرا وداعيا إلى الله بإذنه وسراجا منيرا صلى الله عليه وعلى أهل بيته الذين أذهب الله عنهم الرجس وطهرهم تطهيرا. Dear brothers and sisters in Islam and Iman, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. We continue our discussion on the famous tradition, that for a physical body, there are certain conditions: the condition of health and disease, the condition of death and life, the condition of sleep and awareness. And so is true for the spirit, for the ruh, for the inner self. Whatever name you may give it, there's something inside you, that's distinctly different from the physical, outward existence of yours. There's an outward existence, defined by my head to my toe, but there's something inside, and that's the spirit. There's the inner self. That's your absolute self. When I say I don't mean just my physical body, but what is inside me. That inside, that inner self, that spirit, has also those conditions. The condition of health and sickness, the life and death, and being aware or being asleep. We've been talking about this last part, how to rejuvenate that inner self. How to make sure that the inner self is vibrant, alive, self-aware, and able to make judgments that would prolong its effectiveness on your outer self. It should be inside that should make judgment regarding your outside. Many times in the world that we live in, surrounded by so many enchantments, attractions, incitements, call them whatever you may, but these things attract physical body, and to get physical pleasure, we immerse ourselves into it, Maybe it's a drink, maybe it's a relationship, whatever it is, we immerse ourselves to get the physical pleasure, and that dominates our everyday life. On the other hand, if we were to get the inner pleasure, the pleasure from inside, of the soul, of the ruh, of the spirit, then the path of that is through divine commandments. The one who has created us has given us a pathway to that ultimate bliss of the inner self. One of the ways, and we have decided to go on detail in this, is to be forgiving. Okay. That's one of the ways to heighten your spiritual existence, okay, your awareness. Okay. We've been told by one tradition, by our Prophet, okay, that one who does not forgive should not expect to be forgiven. ये कैसे होगा कि आपने माफ नहीं किया और आपको माफ कर दिया जाए? Okay. Walaikum assalam. One who does not forgive should not expect to be forgiven. Okay. There are a few things involved with us. One is acknowledgement that we as human beings are prone to errors, to mistakes. At times we do things that after a careful evaluation, okay, should not have been done. Okay. Raw emotions, prejudice, okay. Whatever we put it in, it is something that occurs day in and day out. Okay. So to first and foremost, to look at the cause and try to cut that off from our system. Say the cause is prejudice. Okay. I don't like him. I don't like her. I don't like these people. Okay. Ethnically, they are not good, and so on. We have seen people writing books, bell curve, for example, and many of these things have come up. Okay. Talking about ethnicity in derogatory terms. Okay. Well, these are people who are intellectually inferior, for example. Okay? These are people who don't know anything. They are illiterate. Okay? These are the people who don't understand anything. Their IQs are, as Belkar said, okay, close to zero. Okay? That's what we say. Okay? Whether it's true or not, even debate on it. Okay, but the issue is, suppose it's true that you are a superior race, and it's not true by my standards. It's not true, because Allah has created everyone equal. Okay? There are no superiors. Okay, everyone is the creation of Allah Subhanahu wa Taala, and as such, He is equal to anyone else. Okay, whether because of socio-economical problems, issues in the world, lack of education penetrating in society, okay, resulting in people with less understanding of things. Okay. For example, you go to Amazon jungle. You have your iPhone in your pocket. Okay. You open up an app and you ask a tribal person there, what is this? Maybe he'll say, I don't know. Does his lack of this understanding make him inferior to you? Absolutely not. Because circumstances were such that he did not have the access to that. Okay? So lack of access resulting in lack of understanding cannot be the determining factor of one's superiority or inferiority. इस बात को ज़हन से निकाल दीजिए. Should out of your mind. Okay. Everywhere in the world where you see that education is not there, okay, whether it's United States, Europe, Asia, or whatever, okay, the lack of resources, the lack of access is prevalent. Socio-economic factors driving it. Okay. Is it the fault of those people? No. It's beyond them. It's beyond them. There was an article today in New York Times about a community in Indonesia living on water. Their huts are on water. Okay. And they go to city rarely. Okay. Is there any college there? Any school there? Any university there? No. They've been living like that for generations. Walaikum assalam. To assume that they are inferior to someone who's in Jakarta, for example, the capital, okay, would be insane. Our Prophet ﷺ has made it clear. Okay? The greatness of a person lies in his internal purity, in his piety, in his goodness. Okay? Not in the amounts of cash that you have in the bank, or the buildings that you owe, or the stock that you have, or the options that you have. No. Okay. So to clean that inner self, to purify that inner self. We have talked about a few things, and today forgiving. Okay? Forgiving others. Okay? A person looks around and sees that he is smarter than others for himself. Okay? And as such, he has the right to say whatever he says. Okay? And others have to follow him. But the absolute obedience is only for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and His Prophet and the Imams. Okay? Everybody else, absolute obedience is not there. Okay? Why it's not there? Because anyone can make a mistake, okay? An error. Whether that error is of commission or omission, error can be made. Okay? And a person who makes an error, okay, cannot be followed absolutely. That absoluteness is only with the Prophet ﷺ and the prophets before him, right from Abraham to Muhammad. Okay? Isaac, okay, Moses, Jesus, Muhammad. All of them came from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and came with a clear message. Okay? And that message was to elevate the human soul, human self, inner self. Okay? The stress is not on the physical body, the stress is on the inner self. Okay? So one of the ways is forgiving those who are against you. If you go to Mecca at the time of the Prophet is in Mecca. Okay? That's where the message started. And the Meccans, by and large, oppose him. Okay? They tried to kill him and his message. Okay? The years that the Prophet spent in Mecca, okay, were the years of torture and torment against him, his family, and his close companions. Eventually, the Prophet leaves Mecca. After a decade plus in Mecca, he leaves Mecca. He comes to Medina. When he's in Medina, the Meccans attack him. Okay? Not once, not twice, not thrice, many, many times. It is said that close to 84 battles against the Prophet. How many? We usually talk about 3 or 4 battles. Okay? Close to 84 battles against the Prophet. Where either he had to go out himself or send a companion of his to fight. 84 battles. Which meant that every 5th or 6th week, the Prophet had to leave Medina to defend Medina and his companions. Eventually, the Meccans are defeated. And the Prophet ﷺ marches victorious in Mecca. This time the tables have turned. Okay? Now the Meccans are at his feet. The same Meccans who had made every single attempt to kill him and his mission, and his companions, his family, and everyone. He enters Mecca. Okay? One of the members of his army, which is mostly now people of Medina, okay, shouts aloud, "Today is the day of revenge." Okay? Of course, after suffering for more than 2 decades on the hands of, kuffar of Mecca, Meccans, okay? Many would say it's the right time, isn't it? Okay? The Prophet hears this and says, "No. Today is not a day of revenge. Today is the day of mercy. Al-Yawma Yawm al-Marham. Today is the day of mercy. Okay? And he announces a general amnesty for everyone who had opposed him, who has fought against him, who had killed his companions in the battlefield, including his uncle, Hamza, everyone. Okay. And his famous slogan given to his own companions was, mercy, mercy, and mercy. Okay. And to his opponents, he said, Antum at-talaka, you are free today. Okay. None of them faced any charges. They could have faced the charges of killing, torturing, or whatever. Okay. That's one aspect. Okay. There's another thing that the Prophet did, which no victor has done in the history. Okay. In the annals of humanity, no victor has done ever that. Okay. And what he did, when he had left Mecca, his own house had been taken over by a Meccan. The house where he used to live with Khadija had been taken over by Meccan. Okay. The Prophet marches victorious in Mecca. Okay, everyone is pardoned. Doesn't he have the right to take back his own house? But in one sweetest moment in his life, okay, he left the person with the house. He did not claim it back. This is the climax of forgiving. If you want a spiritual elevation, if you want your spirit to reach the highest level, okay, start forgiving. When you walk in your house, for example, and your kid has done something, okay, and you start shouting, that's not forgiving. The forgiving is to call him or her, okay. Let him or her sit next to you and explain that, Sonny, what you did was not good. There's a better way of doing things. And these are the better ways. कहीं से शुरू करें, कोई तो मौका पाएं. इबाद अल्लाह इत्तकुल्लाह फ़इन्नहु ख़बीरुम बिमा तअमलून अलीमुम बिमा तफ़अलून इन्न अहसनल हदीस अबलगुल मौइज़ा किताबुल्लाहिल मन्नान अऊज़ु बिल्लाहिस समीइल अलीम मिनश शैतानिर लाइनिर रजीम बिस्मिल्लाहिर रहमानिर रहीम वल अस्र इन्नल इंसाना लफ़ी ख़ुस्र इल्ला लज़ीना आमनू व अमिलुस सालिहात व तवासौ बिल हक़ व तवासौ बिस सब्र. وعجل فرجهم. أعوذ بالله السميع العليم من الشيطان اللعين الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله ذي العرش المجيد ونشهد أن لا إله إلا الله ولي الحميد ونشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله ختم به المرسلين. اللهم صل وسلم وزد وبارك وترحم وتحنن على عبدك ورسولك وحبيبك وخليلك وصفيك ونجيك وخيرتك من خلقك حافظ سرك وأمين أمرك محضن علمك ومخزن حكمتك آيتك في أرضك والسبيل إليك لخلقك رسول الثقلين إمام القبلتين شفيع الدارين مولى الكونين سيدنا ونبينا حبيبنا وطبيبنا مولانا واقتدانا أبي القاسم محمد. اللهم صل على علي أمير المؤمنين وفاطمة سيدة نساء العالمين والحسن والحسين سيدا شباب أهل الجنة وعلي بن الحسين زين العابدين محمد بن علي باقي الأولين وجعفر بن محمد الصادق وموسى بن جعفر الكاظم وعلي بن موسى الرضا محمد بن علي الجواد التقي وعلي بن محمد الهادي النقي وحسن الدلي على السكري الزكي اللهم وصل على حجتك الأكبر وعايتك الأعظم إمامنا وصاحب زماننا ابن الحسن القائم المنتظر. اللهم أجل فرجه وسهل المخرجه وجارنا وعنه وأنصاره ومن الشهداء بين يده يا أكرم الأكرمين يا أجود الأجودين يا رب العالمين بجاه محمد وآله الطيبين الطاهرين. Dear brothers and sisters in Islam and Iman, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. So protecting your inner self, enhancing your inner self, okay, making sure that your inner self is purified, okay, without those things that destroy. There are things that destroy the room. Okay? Forgiving is one that purifies the room. Okay? Tolerating is one that purifies the room. Forgiveness comes only with tolerance. If you are intolerant, you will never be able to forgive. That's what's psychological. You know? If you are intolerant, you would never be able to forgive. Okay? So the stages for forgiveness, okay, start with understanding tolerance. How much you tolerate. Okay? How much can you take it, for example? Okay? There are people who fail at the first stage. Okay? A word is spoken and they can't bear it. Okay? There are people who can go further, engage to an extent, and eventually burst up. Okay? And there are people who keep on hearing it and disregarding it. Okay? There are two people in the mosque of the Prophet, arguing. It's Medina, it's Prophet's mosque. Okay? The Prophet is there in the mosque. And there are two people who are arguing. Okay? One is using slander and things like that, and the other keeps quiet. Okay? Keeps on. The temperature keeps on rising. Okay? Eventually, the one who was quiet starts using the same language as the first one. Okay? The Prophet walks away. Okay? And you know what he said? To the one who was silent initially, okay, that when you were silent, there was an angel answering on your behalf. Okay. But when you started using the same language, the angel left and Iblis came in, okay, whose task is to make sure that people argue, people fight, people hurt each other, and people destroy. That's what he has said. La ghawyanna majmain. But that does not mean that he is not going to try to destroy the mukhlis also. Those of you who have been to Hajj, okay, and Hajj season just ended, you know, there are images of Iblis there, Jamrat. You go and stone them. Okay? You know why? When Abraham saw the dream that he should sacrifice his son, okay, and he prepared for it, okay, and he was taking his son away, okay, Shaitan Iblis came to him, okay, his wife and his son. The sequence is that he came to the wife first. Mothers, a lot of love, they are soft, okay. You know what your husband is doing? He's going to kill your son. No, my husband can't do that. He's Abraham. Okay. But he saw that in a dream that God has commanded him to kill his son. And she replied that if God has commanded him to kill his son, okay, if I had 1,000 sons, okay, they would all be on the altar. That's it. He leaves. Then he goes to Abraham as an old man. Okay? Very sympathetic. Abraham, what are you doing? You want to kill your son? I saw in the dream. Oh, come on, don't believe on the dreams. Dreams are not real. But Abraham knows it's command of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. As Saturn fails. Okay. Then he comes to the young man who's 13 years old. Your dad is going to kill you. He has seen a dream that God has commanded him to kill you. And the young man says, if it's the command of God, then be it. I'll be the most patient one. And these are the exact words quoted in the Quran. Ifal ma tumar. Okay? To his father. Oh, Dad, do what you have been told to do. Inshallah, you'll find me, okay, of those who are the most patient ones. Okay. Shaitan fails the third time. So those three ideas that you see there are these three temptations. Okay. He had told Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, but I'm going to deceive everyone except your mukhlis, your selected people. Okay? But it doesn't mean that he's not going to try to deceive them also. On the earth at that time, there was no one superior than Abraham. Abraham is the prophet, is the imam. Okay? Abraham is the one that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has there. Okay? And it's his progeny, both through Isaac and Ismail, okay, that has been given the book and the Sharia. Okay? Quran says, أم يحسدون الناس على ما آتاهم الله من فضله ولقد آتينا على إبراهيم الكتاب والحكمة وآتيناهم ملكا عظيما. Would the people be jealous on what we have given to Ibrahim's progeny? We have given the book, we have given them the wisdom, and we have given them unlimited power. Progeny of Ibrahim is divided into two: Isaac and Ismail. By the way, Ibrahim had many more sons after that. Okay? By some accounts, 12 sons. Okay? Many more sons. Biblical accounts, account on Torah, and account in historical Islamic books are different. But he had more than these two sons. Okay? But the covenant that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala had, okay, is with these two. Okay? In the progeny of Ibrahim, Ishaq is the recipient of that honor. Okay? And then Yaqub, whose name is Israel. And that's how you get Bani Israel, the progeny of Yaqub. Okay? On the other hand, there's Bani Ismail, okay, who were in Meccan area. Okay? These were in what is now Palestine, or Egypt. All that land was one. Okay? However, okay, they were blessed. Okay? After the test, that he came out as flying colors. And Shaitan keeps on deceiving. Yaqub has 12 sons. We all know. Joseph is one. Okay? And he has other 11 brothers. What the brothers do? Now, these are the progeny of the prophet. Yaqub is a prophet. आले रसूल है भाई. क्या करते हैं? भाई को कुएं में. लक़द आतैना आले इब्राहीम अल किताब वल हिक्मा व आतैनाहुम मुल्कन अज़ीमा. And yes, so what did Shaitan deceives them, and they fell for it. Okay. And even after throwing him, they discussed among themselves that we'll return to piety. जुल्म करने के बाद नेकी की तरफ आता है. So be aware that shaitan is there to deceive you. Okay? His task is to deceive you. And one of the ways he deceives you is to make you arrogant, okay? Intolerant, okay? So that you are unable to forgive others. Okay? And when you do that, okay, you are an easy prey to him. You may be qualified, you may do whatever you do. Okay? But keep that in mind. The shaitan has ways to work. Okay? And one of the ways is this. Okay? إن الله وملائكته يصلون على النبي يا أيها الذين آمنوا صلوا عليه وسلموا تسليما. Ya Allah. Please fill up the gaps. Ya Allah. नहीं करना है, उसको मना कर दीजिए और ये ऐलान कर दीजिए उसका चला सके, ठीक है ना? और एक फातिहा करा लीजिए. अल्लाहु अकबर अल्लाहु अकबर अशहदु अन ला इलाहा इल्लल्लाह अशहदु अन ला इलाहा इल्लल्लाह अशहदु अन्ना मुहम्मदर रसूलुल्लाह अल्लाहुम्मा सल्लि अला मुहम्मद व आलि मुहम्मद अशहदु अन्ना मुहम्मदर रसूलुल्लाह अल्लाहुम्मा सल्लि अला मुहम्मद व आलि मुहम्मद अशहदु अन्ना अमीरल मुमिनीन व इमामल मुत्तकीन अलिय्युम वलियुल्लाह अलैहि अस्सलातु वस्सलाम अशहदु अन्ना अलिय्यन हुज्जतुल्लाह अलैहि अस्सलातु वस्सलाम हय्या अलस सलाह हय्या अलस फलाह हय्या अलल फलाह हय्या अलल फलाह हय्या अला खैरिल अमल हय्या अला खैरिल अमल قد قامت الصلاة قد قامت الصلاة الله أكبر الله أكبر لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له استغفر الله استغفر الله استغفر الله. الله أكبر. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم يسبح لله ما في السماوات وما في الأرض الملك القدوس العزيز الحكيم هو الذي بعث في الأميين رسولا منهم يتلو عليهم آياته ويزكيهم ويعلمهم الكتاب والحكمة وإن كان من قبل لفي ضلال مبين وآخرين منهم لما يلحقوا بهم وهو العزيز الحكيم ذلك فضل الله يؤتيه من يشاء والله ذو الفضل العظيم. مثل الذين حملوا التوراة ثم لم يحملوها كمثل الحمار يحمل أسفارا بئس مثل القوم الذين كذبوا بآيات الله والله لا يهدي القوم الظالمين. قل يا أيها الذين هادوا إن زعمتم أنكم أولياء لله من دون الناس فتمنوا الموت إن كنتم صادقين ولا يتمنونه أبدا بما قدمت أيديهم والله عليم بالظالمين. قال إن الموت الذي تفرون منه فإنه ملاقيكم ثم تردون إلى عالم الغيب والشهادة فينبئكم بما كنتم تعملون. يا أيها الذين آمنوا إذا نودي للصلاة من يوم الجمعة فاسعوا إلى ذكر الله وذروا البيع ذلكم خير لكم إن كنتم تعلمون. وإذا قضيت الصلاة فانتشروا في الأرض وابتغوا من فضل الله واذكروا الله كثيرا لعلكم تفلحون. وإذا رأوا تجارة أو لهوا انفضوا إليها وتركوك قائما قال ما عند الله خير من اللهو ومن التجارة والله خير الرازقين. الله أكبر. اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد وعجل فرجهم. اللهم إن عبيدا من عبادك الصالحين قاموا بكتابك وسنة نبيك واجزهم عنا خير الجزاء. اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد الله أكبر. سبحان الله سبحان الله سبحان الله سبحان ربي العظيم وبحمده. رب صل على محمد وآله. سمع الله لمن حمده. الله أكبر. سبحان الله سبحان الله سبحان الله سبحان ربي الأعلى وبحمده. رب صل على محمد وآله. الله استغفر الله ربي وأتوب إليه. الله أكبر. سبحان الله سبحان الله سبحان الله سبحان ربي الأعلى وبحمده. رب صل على محمد وآله. الله أكبر. بحول وقوته يحوم وأقعد. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. قال هو الله أحد الله الصمد لم يلد ولم يولد ولم يكن له كفوا أحد فذلك الله ربي. الله أكبر. سبحان الله سبحان الله سبحان الله سبحان ربي العظيم وبحمده. رب صل على محمد وآله. سمع الله لمن حمده. اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد. اللهم كن لوليك الحجة ابن الحسن صلواتك عليه وعلى آله في هذه الساعة وفي كل ساعة وليا وحافظا وقائدا وناصرا ودليلا وعينا حتى تسكنه أرضك طوعا وتمتعه فيها طويلا برحمتك يا أرحم الراحمين. وصلى اللهم على سيدنا ونبينا محمد وآله الطيبين الطاهرين. الله أكبر. سبحان الله سبحان الله سبحان الله سبحان ربي الأعلى وبحمده. رب صل على محمد وآله. الله أكبر. استغفر الله ربي وأتوب إليه. الله أكبر. سبحان الله سبحان الله سبحان الله سبحان ربي الأعلى وبحمده. يا ولي العافية أسألك العافية عافية الدين والدنيا والآخرة بنبي وإترته الطاهرة. اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد. الله أكبر. الحمد لله. أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله. اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد وتقبل شفاعته ورفع درجته. السلام عليك أيها النبي ورحمة الله وبركاته. السلام علينا وعلى عباد الله الصالحين. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. الله أكبر الله أكبر الله أكبر. اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد.
صل على محمد وآل محمد وأتم لا إله إلا الله لا إله إلا الله. من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد. أستغفر الله الذي لا إله إلا هو الحي القيوم الرحمن الرحيم ذو الجلال والإكرام وأتوب إليه. أستغفر الله الذي لا إله إلا هو الحي القيوم الرحمن الرحيم ذو الجلال والإكرام وأتوب إليه. أستغفر الله الذي لا إله إلا هو الحي القيوم الرحمن الرحيم ذو الجلال والإكرام وأتوب إليه. اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد. لا إله إلا الله إلها واحدا ونحن له مسلمون. لا إله إلا الله ولا نعبد إلا إياه مخلصين له الدين ولو كره المشركون. لا إله إلا الله ربنا ورب آبائنا الأولين. لا إله إلا الله وحده وحده أنجز وعدا ونصر عبدا وأعز جندا وعزم الأحزاب وحدا. فله الملك وله الحمد يحيي ويميت ويميت ويحيي وهو حي لا يموت بيده الخير وهو على كل شيء قدير. ربنا تقبل منا إنك أنت السميع العليم برحمتك يا أرحم الراحمين. صل على
إن الله وملائكته يصلون على النبي يا أيها الذين آمنوا صلوا عليه وسلموا تسليما. اللهم صل على محمد وعلى محمد. Fee announcement: tomorrow there is no Saturday class, no class for tomorrow. महफिल जश्न ईद गदीर तरही एंड गैर तरही under the supervision of Judul Islam Maulana Anwar Ali Sahab will take place tomorrow on Saturday, June 22nd, after the exit time of Bajamaat and Namaz-e-Maghribain. All are requested to attend the session. The tarah is Eid-e-Ghadir, Eid-e-Bashir-o-Nazir hai. Eid-e-Ghadir, Eid-e-Bashir-o-Nazir hai, and the Nazir is the Kafiya for the poets. Nazir is the Kafiya. The Islamic Center of Nassau offers our condolences to the brother of Hassan Zaidi family and Jafri family on the sudden death of brother Muhammad Ali Jafri, son of Sardar Hussain Jafri, who passed away on Wednesday. Namaz-e-Janaza will be held tomorrow, Saturday, 10 a.m. at Imam Bargah Shah Najaf, Brentwood. 10 a.m. Imam Bargah Shah Najaf, Brentwood. Tadfeen, a burial time, 11 a.m. at Washington Memorial Park, Canal Road. All are requested to attend the Namaz-e-Janaza and Tadfeen. Majlis-e-Swayam for the marhum brother Muhammad Ali Jafri will take place in Icon on Sunday, June 23rd. On Sunday, June 23rd. Time will communicate later, depend upon the weather. You guys can contact to Brother Hassan Zaidi or Dr. Ali Zaidi for the time confirmation. Maulana Anwar Ali will, Jana Maulana Ali will address the Majlis. All are requested to attend this Majlis too. Today's Friday lunch is sponsored by Zafar Iqbal, brother Zafar Iqbal and family. May Allah increase their tawfiqat and rizq. Please recite a Fatiha for their marhumeen, your marhumeen, and all other marhumeen, especially brother Muhammad Ali Jafri, son of Sardar Hussain Jafri. Surah Fatiha. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alamin. Maliki yawmiddin. Iyyaka na'budu wa iyyaka nasta'in. Siratal ladzina Qul huwallahu. Please recite together 5 times Amin Yujib for the speedy recovery of all the peoples who are sick, especially brother Warren Deluca. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Amma yujibul mustarra izada wa yakshifu su. Amma yujibul mustarra izada wa yakshifu su. Amma yujibul mustarra izada wa yakshifu. Amma yujibul mustarra izada wa yakshifu. Amma yujibul mustarra izada wa yakshifu su. Bar Muhammad wa ali Muhammad salwa.
Ya Allah. Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar. Ashhadu an la ilaha illallah. Ashhadu anna Muhammadan Rasulullah. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. Ashhadu anna Muhammadan Rasulullah. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. Ashhadu anna Amir al-Mu'minina wa Imam al-Muttaqin Aliyan Waliyullah alayhi salatu wassalam. Ashhadu anna Aliyan Hujjatullah alayhi salatu wassalam. Hayya ala salah, hayya ala salah, hayya ala al-falah, hayya ala al-falah, hayya ala khair al-amal, hayya ala khair al-amal. Qad qamat as-salah, qad qamat as-salah. Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar. La ilaha illallah. وحده لا شريك له. استغفر الله. الله أكبر. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الله أكبر. سبحان الله سبحان الله سبحان الله. سبحان ربي العظيم وبحمده رب صل على محمد وآل محمد. سمع الله لمن حمده. الله أكبر. سبحان الله سبحان الله سبحان الله سبحان ربي الأعلى وبحمده رب صل على محمد وآل محمد. الله أكبر. أستغفر الله ربي وأتوب إليه. الله أكبر. سبحان الله سبحان الله سبحان الله سبحان ربي الأعلى وبحمده رب صل على محمد وآل محمد. الله أكبر. بحول الله وقوته أقوموا وأقوموا. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الله أكبر. اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد وعجل فرجهم. اللهم كن لوليك الحجة بن الحسن صلواتك عليه وعلى آبائه في هذه الساعة وفي كل ساعة وليا وحافظا وقائدا وناصرا ودليلا وعينا حتى تسكنه أرضك طوعا وتمتعه فيها طويلا برحمتك يا أرحم الراحمين. وصلى اللهم على سيدنا ونبينا محمد وآله الطيبين الطاهرين. الله أكبر. سبحان الله سبحان الله سبحان الله سبحان ربي العظيم وبحمده رب صل على محمد وآل محمد. سمع الله لمن حمده. الله أكبر. سبحان الله سبحان الله سبحان الله سبحان ربي الأعلى وبحمده رب صل على محمد وآل محمد. الله أكبر. استغفر الله ربي وأتوب إليه. الله أكبر. سبحان الله سبحان الله سبحان الله سبحان ربي الأعلى وبحمده رب صل على محمد وآل محمد. الله أكبر. الحمد لله. أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله. اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد. بحوله وقوته يقوم ويقعد. الله أكبر. سبحان الله سبحان الله سبحان ربي العظيم وبحمده رب صل على محمد وآل محمد. سمع الله لمن حمده. الله أكبر. سبحان الله سبحان الله سبحان الله سبحان ربي الأعلى وبحمده رب صل على محمد وآل محمد. الله أكبر. استغفر الله ربي وأتوب إليه. الله أكبر. سبحان الله سبحان الله سبحان الله سبحان ربي الأعلى وبحمده رب صل على محمد وآل محمد. الله أكبر. بحوله وقوته يقوم ويقعد. الله أكبر. سبحان الله سبحان الله سبحان الله سبحان ربي العظيم وبحمده رب صل على محمد وآل محمد. سمع الله لمن حمده. الله أكبر. سبحان الله سبحان الله سبحان الله سبحان ربي الأعلى وبحمده رب صل على محمد وآل محمد. الله أكبر. استغفر الله ربي وأتوب إليه. الله أكبر. سبحان الله سبحان الله سبحان الله سبحان ربي الأعلى وبحمده
سبحان ربي الأعلى وبحمده يا ولي العافية أسألك العافية عافية الدين والدنيا والآخرة بنبي وإترته الطاهرة اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد.
الله أكبر. بسم الله وبالله خير الأسماء كلها لله. أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله أرسله بالحق بشيرا ونذيرا بين يدي الساعة. اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد وتقبل شفاعته ورفع درجته. السلام عليك أيها النبي ورحمة الله وبركاته. السلام علينا وعلى عباد الله الصالحين. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. الله أكبر الله أكبر الله أكبر. اللهم صل على محمد.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. أستغفر الله الذي لا إله إلا هو الحي القيوم الرحمن الرحيم ذو الجلال والإكرام وأسأله أن يتوب علي توبة عبدا ذليلا خاصا فقير بائس مسكين مستكين مستجير لا يملك لنفسه نفعا ولا ضرا ولا موتا ولا حياة ولا نشورا. اللهم إني أعوذك من نفس لا تشبع ومن قلب لا يخشع ومن علم لا ينفع ومن صلاة لا ترفع ومن دعاء لا يسمع. اللهم إني أسألك اليسر بعد العسر والفرج بعد الكرب والرخاء بعد الشدة. اللهم ما بنا من نعمة فمنك لا إله إلا أنت أستغفرك وأتوب إليك. اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد. السلام عليك يا رسول الله. السلام عليك يا نبي الله. السلام عليك يا خير خلق الله ورحمة الله وبركاته. السلام عليك يا أمير المؤمنين. السلام عليك يا سيد الوسيين. السلام عليك يا إمام المتقين ورحمة الله وبركاته. السلام عليك يا فاطمة الزهراء سيد الرسال العالمين ورحمة الله وبركاته. السلام عليك يا أبا محمد الحسن المجتبى ورحمة الله وبركاته. سمل کے السلام علی الحسین وعلی ابن الحسین واولاد الحسین واصحاب الحسین جمیع ورحمۃ اللہ وبرکاتہ. السلام علیکم علی ابن الحسین زین العابدین یا محمد ابن علی الباقر یا جعفر ابن محمد صادق. السلام علیکم یا موسیٰ ابن جعفر کاظم. السلام علیکم علی ابن موسیٰ الرضا. السلام علیکم یا محمد ابن علی تقی الجواد. السلام علیکم یا محمد ابن ہادی. السلام علیکم یا حسن عسکری ذات امام زمانہ. السلام علیکم یا حجت اللہ فی ارضہ. السلام علیکم یا عین اللہ فی خلقہ. السلام علیکم نور اللہ الذی یعتدی بہ المہتدون ویفرج بہ عن المؤمنین. अस्सलामु अलैका अय्युहल मुहज़्ज़बुल ख़ाइफ़, अस्सलामु अलैका अय्युहल वलियुन नासिर, अस्सलामु अलैका या सफ़ीनतन नजाह, अस्सलामु अलैका या ऐनुल हया, अस्सलामु अलैका सल्लल्लाहु अलैका व अला अहलिल बैत अत-तय्यिबीन अत-ताहिरीन, अस्सलामु अलैका अज्जलल्लाहु लका मिन वदाका मिन नसर व ज़हूरुल अम्र, अस्सलामु अलैका या मौलाना मौलाका आरिफुन बिऔलाका व फ़रका अतक़र्रबु इलल्लाहि तआला बिका व बिआले बैतिक व अंतज़िरु ज़हूरका व ज़हूरुल हक़्क़ अला यदैक व सल्लल्लाहु अलैहि वसल्लम अला मुहम्मदिन व आलि मुहम्मद व अन यजली मिनल मुंतज़िरीन लका वत्ताबिईन वन्नासिरीन लकल आदाइक वल मुस्तशहीदीन बैन यदैक फ़ी जुमलतिल औलियाइक या मौला या साहिबुज़ ज़मान सलवातुल्लाहि अलैका व अलल बैत हाज़ा यौमुल जुमअह व हुवा यौमु वक़्फ़ुल मुतवक़्क़िअ फ़ी ज़हूर वल फ़रजु फ़ीहिल मुअमिनीना अलल यदैक व क़त्लुल काफ़िरीन बिस्सैफ़िका व अना या मौलाया फ़ीहि ज़ैफ़ुका व जारुक व अन्त या मौला करीमुन औलादिकल किराम व मामूरुन बिज़ियाफ़तिन व इजारतिन वाज़िफ़नी वाजिरनी सलवातुल्लाहि अलैका व अलल बैतिका अत-ताहिरीन। बिस्मिल्लाहिर रहमानिर रहीम। अल्लाहुम्मा कुल्ले वलियिकल हुज्जत इब्नुल हसन सलवातुका अलैहि व अला आबाए फ़ी हाज़िहि स्साअ व फ़ी कुल्लि साअ वलिय्यन व हाफ़िज़न व क़ाइदन व नासिरा व दलीलन व ऐना हत्ता तुस्किनहु अर्ज़का तव्वा व तुमत्तिअहु फ़ीहा तवीला बिरहमतिका या अरहमर राहिमीन।